Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Wave 1 offering of Paleotrex. Kind of like the Groot of Wave 1, if you will. He's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for. All those links are in the description below. Check me out all across social media. Those links also in the description below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is Paleotrex, and a lot of people are going to say that he is going to be the shelf warmer. A lot of people are going to say he is going to be the not popular one because nobody knows this guy. He's brand new and all of this stuff, and I get it. But I think that that is shortchanging this guy. Yes, admittedly, his mass, his size is definitely smaller than what a deluxe should be. But what this guy does offer is almost endless. It comes with some caveats. There's a lot to unpack here. I will show the conversion going to his Dino mode. I'm going to show the loadouts, but not the conversion to the loadouts, because they're kind of self-explanatory once you see them. Whole lot to explore here, so without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, here we have the newest weirdo on the block, that being the Predacon. See, up here it says, well, it doesn't say, but there's a symbol for Predacon. This is Fossilizer Paleotrex, who I'm kind of smitten with, but before we get into this guy, we have to take a look at the packaging first. And of course we have Kingdom packaging with the very small window. I'm not digging the small window, man. I'm really not digging the small window. I do like the cardboard insert in behind instead of the plastic clamshell, but I don't like the small window. I do, however, like the artwork both in robot mode and in fossil mode, I guess. I have no idea what dinosaur this is. I'm not a dinosaur guy. The usual Kingdom artwork on the side, and on the back we have, of course, the product images. I'll also note that mine, the tab on mine is the cardboard tab. There have been apparently a couple of variants of packaging, first shown with Warpath, where the tab is plastic, and some have the tab as cardboard, and that also affects the way they are stored in package. I have the cardboard tab, and mine had plastic tie downs in package, so it is what it is. The other thing about the package that kind of bugs me is make sure that you take the cardboard insert all the way out, because on the bottom there's an indentation, and accessories tend to be behind in that indentation. The shield of Warpath was in there, and for this guy, his bone sword was back there. Very easy to forget about that, to not get the accessory out and throw it away. Truth be known, I've had a couple recently that I've accidentally thrown the accessory, an accessory away on. Looking at you, Netflix Soundwave, and your little gray blaster piece that nobody knows what it's for. Yeah, I accidentally threw that out. Oh, this is the bone sword thing in question. Oh, we have small instructions. They're clear, but they're not real big. And another Optimus collector card. We showed this collector card when we looked at Cyclonus. When you pull down the front of the card, the sticky part, in behind is Dead Prime. We've already seen this. And so here we have Paleotrex. By the way, that card we not only saw with Cyclonus, we also saw it with Warpath recently as well. If you missed the Cyclonus review, we looked at him in episode 808, and man, the hype is real for him. And Warpath we compared with the Generations Warpath in episode 803 pretty recently as well. Again, I was surprised at how good Warpath turned out. And then we get to this guy. Now this guy comes with a bunch of caveats. The scores that I'm going to give this guy are somewhat subjective, but I'm going to explain why as we go through. I am a proponent of give us something new, give us something fresh. So when we get something new and fresh, I almost feel obligated to support it, and this is definitely new and fresh and different. It plays on the whole weaponizer gimmick that we had with the Micromaster bases in Earthrise, and that we had with Cog, Six Gun, and Brunt in Siege. Except now they're dinosaur bone pieces, so it's definitely different. These are all new characters. I don't know how they would play into the fiction, the Predacon, so presumably they would follow Beast Wars Megatron. Yes. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. We know how the fiction has been, so I don't know. But I feel like I had to support it. Nothing about this screams Transformers in the least, and a lot of people are going to say, I'm not familiar with the character, I'm going to pass it over. The guy is probably going to be the one that Peg warms. But I think he's actually one of the absolute best. Here's the other thing. I have no problem with parts forming, and this guy's the ultimate in parts forming. If you do, then this and none of the weaponizers would be for you at all. So the caveats are that you have to be okay with something new and fresh, and you have to be okay with parts forming. So, that being said, in terms of his paint apps, there's a lot of paint here, a lot of molded in detail. I'm gonna say, honestly, that it is 10. Why wouldn't I say it's a 10? It makes sense for it to be a 10. He's a little bit on the small side for a deluxe in terms of mass, but I will admit in this case that the amount of molded in detail is astonishing. So we're starting out with a 10. That's a great start. This is also the mold that apparently is going to be used in the Selects line for Transmutate. I hear that's actually going to be sold for a Voyager price. I assume that got to be incorrect pricing on the listing because I don't see it. But I do see how this could be remolded to give us a Transmutate for sure. It has the weird body dimensions. What about the articulation on the guy? Well, we have a head that can go left and right, up and down. There's a battle mask that can come down over his face. A lot of people say that's supposed to be like the mutant mask thing. The arm can go up. This arm over here, it does on mine like to come out. Like I do have to peg it in, and it's weird because the tolerance does feel good on it. So that arm goes all the way around. This arm, it also can go all the way around. We have a bicep swivel. We have wrists. We have fingers that open and close. I don't think the thumb does. There's a 5mm hole like in the hand where you can put his whatever this is. There is a waist on the guy. He can, see if I can get this, kick back like a lot. He can kick forward a lot. We have a bit of a thigh swivel. We have like an at the knee swivel. We have 90 degrees at the knee for sure. Then we have like that weird, that weird. I don't know why we have that. Or that, well, I know why, it's for transformation, but no ankle tilt on the guy, probably because we have that. So I guess your calf tilt is your ankle tilt, I suppose. And the heel pieces move a little bit. I do wish his feet were slightly bigger than what they are. But again, everything is there. It's a great range of motion, even if the proportions are weird. Functionally, the articulation works quite well. That one left shoulder on my copy does kind of work out of the peg a little bit, so you do have to put it in. But still, honestly, it's not a big deal, and it does stay. Like, it's not like it's going to fall out. Trust me, it's just, it's a weaponizer, right? I mean, it is what it is. I like this as much as I like any of the other weaponizers. I think the range of motion is terrific. I'm going to give it a 9.5, and the only reason it's not getting a 10 is because of that one left shoulder where the peg does wiggle out. If that didn't wiggle out, then he'd be a 10 there as well. 10 out of 10, man, for a new, unknown character. So what about the transformation? We'll go to Dino mode first, and then we'll see his loadouts for the other modes after. And for Dino mode, we'll take this out of his hand, and we're going to take that chest plate off first and foremost. We're going to close down the mask over the head, and we're going to rotate the head around, and the dinosaur head on the back here is pegged in on a peg down here, and you can pick that up over for now. The hands, I guess, the fingers I suppose we'll call it. They open out. And see, that one wanted to come out again, just like a little nuisance, right? And I think we turn them this way. I think the claws are supposed to be the same way as the head. Maybe they're supposed to be back the other way. I'm not sure. We'll orient that in just a little bit. Then we how is it that I do this? Oh, wait, no, I think we take these off. That's what it is. We take these off, and then they are going to become the lower legs on the guy. So we bring these down, and now we're going to put the lower legs in, and this guy is going to get pretty tall and off camera, so I'm going to readjust after I peg. Ooh. Peg that in, and the other one in. You see where I'm going with this? And now you can see how tall the guy gets. But luckily, we don't have to stay kind of back this far from him, because at this juncture, we remove the waist, and we're left with this upper body piece, and we're going to kind of get all of this arranged first. We take off the arms, and we plug that piece in there, and we plug that piece in there, and we plug this piece on here. So you can kind of see how the body there sort of kind of comes together. Then we go back to the lower leg. So I'm going to take this kind of torso head out of it, and we'll revisit this in just a moment. Remember our legs? Well, now we're going to take that leg off and take that leg off all together, and we're left with this piece, and we bring out the little front dinosaur arms. Inside here we have 2 peg holes, and around the kind of main torso piece of the body we have 2 brown pegs that these ribs, I guess, will wrap around. The 2 brown pegs look like this. I'm sorry, a moment ago I said brown because I was thinking of these pegs down here. It's not. It goes around the beige ones that are on this like fin piece that's kind of his tummy, and then they wrap around, and these back rib pieces sort of lock into position as well, so that it looks like this in the end. So my battery died just at the point that I was like kind of finishing explaining a part of the transformation. I hope that it came through, but basically what happened is we took the thighs that act as the rib cage, and we wrapped it around this fin piece that has 2 beige pegs on it. There's also kind of extra rib pieces here that's on the main torso that slot into position. The only tricks here for this to note is that you wrap it around and you peg it on, and the peg that is, say, the waist should be, I don't know if I can get this out of the way, should be angled kind of up under the chin right there of the dinosaur. So as long as you know that, you're good. Then we have a little rectangular peg right here and a little rectangular peg right there. And on the back of the mask piece, next to the 5mm peg, we have 2 little rectangular slots. Those little rectangular pegs go over, or go into, those little slots. It is a bit of a nuisance to line it up. But once it's done, it makes like the lower dino tummy section. Then we come to the last piece of the dino transformation, which uses these brown pegs that I accidentally referenced earlier. I thought that the ribs wrapped around this, but that's not true. It wraps around the beige pegs. The brown pegs are what we attach the legs to. We take really from the knee down, and we have the arms kind of attached on the heel, but from the knee down, and we use this socket, and we put it over that brown peg and angle it down, and the same on the other side. We put it over this brown peg and we angle it down, and then we just adjust the legs kind of back and down like that, and adjust the legs back and down like that for our Dino mode. My mistake, I bent the leg like a chicken leg, but it shouldn't be. It's actually like a thigh out than a knee in, kind of more like a cat or dog leg than it is a chicken leg. My mistake. He stands really well, really great. I think this looks cool. Yeah, this looks like something you would see in a museum. Now, to get here, everything is parts forming. If you don't like it, you know what? Check out now, because this is not going to be for you. I'm cool with parts forming. I don't have a problem with it when it gives us a mode like this in the end, and every piece is used, nothing is left over. As for the loadouts, I'm not going to necessarily show how we go to all that, because again, all of that is about a parts forming thing, but I'm going to show the pieces on another model, another character. Not Warpath, because that kind of doesn't make any sense. This guy's a Predacon. Why would an Autobot have a Predacon as like his armor bits? That's like the head of this guy is often referenced as the mace of Optimus Primal, but that makes no sense because again, this is a Predacon. Why would his head be Optimus Primal's mace? So I don't know. It, like, storyline wise, it probably would have made more sense for this guy to be a Maximal, but he's not. Why am I not showing the conversion to the two loadouts? Pretty simple. Because both of those are also absolutely parts forming 100%, and I'll just explain how the parts go together when we get there. But for me, again, subjectively, because I'm okay with parts forming, I'm going to say that the transformation is easy. It is a 10. I think that Paleotrex is one of the best in line, with almost 10s across the board. But, like I said, that's somewhat subjective this time, because the way he's designed, he works well. He looks good for the way he's designed. He has excellent articulation for the way he's designed. He's supposed to be a massive parts former, so he works very well as that massive parts former, the way he's designed. But if you, at your core, don't like the fossilizer idea, you don't like new characters, or you don't like parts forming, then any or all of those three things would take this guy from being one of the best in line to being an easy pass for you. As for the weird loadouts, here's the first one on Runabout. So all we did is we took the main torso over here, and we took the thighs off of the section like around the body and that tummy piece. We left the tail and the rest of the torso together, and there is a 5mm peg at the end of the tail that fits in the hand, and this whole thing becomes a huge battle axe. The head that we took off from up right here goes plugged in the arm over here as a shield. I don't know. The robot head that was behind the dinosaur head comes out and becomes, you guessed it, a mace in the hand. The torso front, or the I guess the bottom of the dinosaur, that other like face piece goes over on the arm as a shield, and then we put the entirety of the dinosaur legs back into the thighs, and we used the pelvis piece with the peg on it to plug into the back of Runamuck here. So he has over the shoulder claw arms, a dino head arm, a mace, a huge battle axe, and a shield in this configuration. The other configuration is somewhat similar, but slightly different, and it looks like, and the second loadout might even be wilder. So what we did is we took really what are essentially the forearms and hands of Paleotrex off from the legs. The legs now should kind of hang out over the shoulder with openings at the front. They're like shoulder cannons now. The arms we took off become stilts, I guess, for him to walk on if you want him to have like weird bird, dinosaur, claw, stilt things. We still have the shield over on the other arm, but now we took the mace, we turned it upside down and put it up through the hand. Then we took the dinosaur head and we put it onto the mace. Then we put the dinosaur head and we folded it all the way down to expose a 5mm port. And again, we took the whole torso and we put it into that port to give us a huge sword. Very similar to the other loadout. These are the two official ones. I'm sure with all the parts that this guy comes apart in, you can customize it to suit your taste however you like. And that's why I didn't really show it, because there's so much customization here. That's another reason why the transformation gets a 9.5 from me. Because though I have that one the transformation gets a 10. The articulation had a 9.5. That's another reason the articulation gets a 10, because we have so much configuration, so much customization that can be done with how you put the parts on. The only real gripe I could have against this guy is that one tolerance issue during articulation that gave him a 9.5. Overall, the guy is a 10 for looks, a 10 for transformation, a 9.5 for articulation. He's overall a solid 9.75, 9.85. He is an excellent offering that a lot of people are going to overlook because they're not going to be into a new character, they're not going to be into the weird fossilizer look, and they're probably not going to be into the parts forming. I get it, but I think it's a shame that this guy might not potentially get the love that he richly deserves. And here we are once again, and here he is, and I dig this dude, man. I really dig him. I like the weird robot mode. I love that he is so easy to animate. He's articulated all over the place. I like that it's something new and different that we've never had before. I don't know how they're going to play into the factions. I really don't. I'm not sure if they're just going to like willingly follow Megatron, or are they going to be like zombie Predacons? You know, we've seen that before. But I kind of dig the idea. I don't think it really works on Maximals or Autobots. That's why I put them on Run Amok. I think he's going to get shortchanged. I really do. Yes, he's light. Way light. I think he comes in at something like 53 grams of plastic instead of the usual 84. So he's really light, which is disappointing, no doubt about it, especially if his reuse as transmutate is going to be sold for a Voyager price. It's not a Voyager, but I feel like that what is offered here does sort of kind of justify that price point a bit more, because the parts count is very high, the articulation is second to none, the engineering is completely unique, the molded in detail and the paint is, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of molded in detail. There's a lot of paint on this guy. So I sort of get it. I don't want to see it become a trend because that is too small for deluxe. But you know what? I'm okay with it for this guy. Again, though, I don't think I'd be in for a mold reuse. Not at a full price. I don't need that. I like him. And I think that a lot of people are going to overlook him when they really shouldn't, because he, so far, is one of the best in line. Let me know what you think about Paleotrex, or if you've changed your mind a little bit. If you don't like parts forming, he's not going to be for you. If you don't like new, he's not going to be for you. So there are certain caveats that go with my grades this time, and admittedly there is a certain measure of subjectivity. I freely admit it, but I think the guy is great. Let me know what you think about this guy. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know, man, how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick with us, have some fun, and also don't forget that somehow, someway, each and every single day, man, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.